Hey, it's Jessica Tang. Hey, it's Jessica Tang, and welcome to Crash Course US History. Woo! That's really bad.
Now what?
Alright guys, so today we'll be talking about the Vietnam War, what caused it and what came out of it. What I mean by that is what really happened, what was the outcome of it, what other countries has been affected. So the Vietnam War was a long, costly, armed conflict that pitted the communist regime of North Vietnam and its southern allies known as the Viet Cong against South Vietnam and its principal allies, the US. The war began in 1954, though conflict in the region stretched back to the mid-1940s. After the rise to power of Ho Chi Minh and his Communist Viet Minh Party in North Vietnam, and continued against the backdrop of an intense Cold War between two global superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. More than 3 million people, including 50,000 Americans, were killed in the Vietnam War. More than half were Vietnamese civilians. Alright, so according to this AP US History Crash Course book written by the REA, says here that following World War II, France attempted to regain control over its valuable colonies in what had been known as the French Indochina. However, the French soon became entangled in a costly war with communist forces led by Ho Chi Minh. In 1954, the French suffered a disastrous defeat at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. The exhausted French and the victorious Vietnamese reached an agreement known as the Geneva Accords. Both sides agreed to divide Vietnam at the 17th parallel. Ho Chi Minh would rule north of the parallel, while a French-backed government would rule south of it. A final agreement specified that free elections would be held in 1956 to unify Vietnam under one government. Bam. Alright, but by 1969, at the peak of U.S. involvement in the war, more than 500,000 U.S. military personnel were involved in the Vietnam conflict. Growing opposition to the war in the U.S. led to bitter divisions among Americans, both before and after President Richard Nixon ordered the withdrawal of U.S. forces in 1973. In 1975, Communist forces seized control of Saigon, ending the Vietnam War, and the country was unified as a Socialist Republic of Vietnam the following year. The unit was trained in Hawaii and had been in South Vietnam for 3 months. They averaged 20 years old and were considered to be one of the U.S. Army's best. At the least, many of the men had become frustrated over civilians harboring Viet Cong operatives. There was a constant fear of ambush and a feeling that the war was being lost, which added to the day's tensions. According to the intelligence, most of the villagers headed to their local markets at 7 a.m. With the attack scheduled for 8 a.m., soldiers were told to assume that any persons remaining were, in all likelihood, either Viet Cong or Viet Cong sympathizers. They were ordered to destroy the village. The soldiers were led into My Lai by Lieutenant William Calley. They failed to find any insurgents, just ordinary villagers. Nevertheless, having been psychologically braced for a major fight, the soldiers opened fire on the villagers and killed 504 innocents, including infants. Wow, Callie. Okay. Alright, so unfortunately, the effects of the Vietnam War heavily acted upon the neighboring country of Cambodia, in which its communist movement originated in the Khmer People's Revolutionary Party, which was formed in 1951 under the patronage of the Viet Minh of Vietnam. So, after a right-wing military coup toppled Sihanouk in 1970, the Khmer Rouge entered into a political coalition with him and began attracting increased support in the Cambodian countryside, a trend that was accelerated by the destructive U.S. bombing campaigns over Cambodia in the early 1970s. By this time, the Khmer Rouge were also receiving substantial aid from North Vietnam, which had withheld its support during the years of Sihanouk's rule. In a civil war that continued for nearly 5 years from 1970, the Khmer Rouge gradually expanded the areas of the Cambodian countryside under their control. Finally, in April 1975, Khmer Rouge forces mounted a victorious attack on the capital city of Phnom Penh. The military leader of the Khmer Rouge, Pol Pot, became the new government's prime minister. The Khmer Rouge's rule over the next 4 years was marked by some of the worst excesses of any Marxist government in the 20th century, during which an estimated 1.5 million and possibly up to 2 million Cambodians died, and many of the country's professional and technical class were exterminated. The Khmer Rouge government was overthrown in 1979 by invading Vietnamese troops who installed called a puppet government propped up by Vietnamese aid and expertise. The Khmer Rouge retreated to remote areas and resumed guerrilla warfare, this time operating from bases near the border with Thailand and obtaining aid from China. In 1982, they formed a fragile coalition under the nominal leadership of Sihanouk, with two non-communist Khmer groups opposed to the Vietnamese-backed central government. The Khmer Rouge was the strongest partner in this coalition, which carried on guerrilla warfare until 1991. The Khmer Rouge opposed the United Nations-sponsored peace settlement of 1991 and the multi-party elections in 1993, and they continued guerrilla warfare against the non-communist coalition government formed after those elections. Isolated in the remote western provinces of the country and increasingly dependent on gem smuggling for their funding, Khmer Rouge suffered a series of military defeats and grew weaker from year to year. In 1995, many of their cadres accepted an offer of amnesty from the Cambodian government, and in 1996, one of their leading figures, Lang Seri, defected along with several thousand guerrillas under his command and signed a peace agreement with the government. The disarray within the organization intensified in 1997 when Pol Pot was arrested by other Khmer Rouge leaders and sentenced to life imprisonment. Pol Pot died in 1998, and soon afterward the surviving leaders of the Khmer Rouge defected or were imprisoned. Alright, so after all, the Khmer Rouge believed that all remnants of the culture prior to their overtaking of the government should be removed. They broke up families based on where they wanted each individual to work. Community, family, religion were banished, replacing them all with communism. They tortured anyone who worked for the old government, everyone who had a good education, and anyone who wore glasses, which apparently showed a sign of intelligence. He also killed any people who lived in cities, all religious leaders, and everyone who had mental or physical disabilities in order to create an ideal Cambodia. A lot of the people who survived became refugees and fled to various countries in Asia. Unfortunately, the results were devastating. There were huge losses of citizens. Almost 1/4 of the country's population died, a very poor educational system, malnutrition, which is a lack of proper nutrition, and extreme poverty. So here are both my parents telling their side of the story about being involved in the Cambodian genocide.
My name is Leng Theng. I was born on April 29, 1967. I'm 51 years old now. I was born in Phnom Penh, Cambodia.
My name is Chita Theng. I was born in Siri Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and my date of birth is March 13, 1968. Right now I'm 49 years old.
When I was 6 years old, the war started in 1975, and which is Khmer Rouge took over the Cambodia.
ពេលដែលចាប់ផ្ដើមមានសង្គ្រាមនៅស្រុកខ្មែរខ្ញុំអាយុប្រហែល5ទៅ6ឆ្នាំខ្ញុំបងប្រុសបងស្រីខ្ញុំនិងឪពុកម្ដាយខ្ញុំត្រូវបានវាខ្មែររូនឹងបានជន្លៀសពួកយើងចេញពីភ្នំពេញសេរីទៅនៅ countryside.
Well, we have to get out of the city and join the labor forces under the communist regimes.
រយៈពេលដែលយើងនៅក្នុងសង្គ្រាមនៅក្នុង Pol Pot regime ហ្នឹងរយៈពេល3ឆ្នាំ8ខែ20ថ្ងៃ
We have to give up all belonging, property, house, anything that you belong, just give it up to the government.
ខ្ញុំដែលមានអាយុប្រហែលជា5ទៅ6ឆ្នាំគឺខ្ញុំនៅចិត្តនឹងម្ដាយខ្ញុំប៉ុន្តែគេឲ្យខ្ញុំធ្វើការធ្ងន់ដូចជាជួយដាំដំណាំគេរែកអាចគោដើម្បីយកមកដាក់ដំណាំហើយពេលញ៉ាំបាយគឺមិនដែលបានញ៉ាំបាយជួបជុំជាមួយនឹងពុកម្ដាយខ្ញុំទេគឺ
So they let us work, start from in the morning from 6 o'clock until 11 o'clock. If we do not work, so they will not give us any food. We work all 3 years, 8 months and 21 days. Less food, a lot of people die. No medication, no medicals. If you get sick, no choice other than dead. That's it. And if you get escape to another country, you're gonna get killed or executed.
ប្រហែលជា44ឆ្នាំកន្លងផុតទៅគឺខ្ញុំមានការឈឺចាប់ខ្លាំងដោយសារខ្ញុំបានបាត់បង់បងប្រុសរបស់ខ្ញុំ4នាក់ដែលបានស្លាប់នៅជំនាន់សង្គ្រាមទៅពេលដែលគេយកបងប្រុសខ្ញុំទៅស្លាប់ពេលនោះគឺខ្ញុំមានអាយុ5 6ឆ្នាំ7ឆ្នាំដែលខ្ញុំមិនតឹងបានស្គាល់នឹងចិត្តដិតច្បាស់លាស់ជាមួយនឹងបងប្រុសខ្ញុំ The whole of my life គឺខ្ញុំចាំមិនភ្លេច គឺខ្ញុំមិនអាចបំភ្លេចបាន
I want to thank Mick Byer for giving me these amazing lights for this video, and I also want to thank my precious Sydney Bridwell for helping me film this whole entire day. It's literally been 12 freaking hours, and yes, I am actually making this video 3 days prior to my due date. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to be awesome. Wait, just keep going. No. What the am I saying? Wow, I'm barely starting on this.
I'm not going to focus so much on the generals and the tactics, but instead...
Independent.
I did. It sounded like...
Alright, before do this, like my tongue is like not working. Conflict in the regime.
Regime.
Region! Okay.
Addison, turn down the music!
An all-out war.